I'm John Kovach. I've been a newsman, a sports announcer, and a football coach, but the one constant, since I was old enough to stand next to a stream with my dad, has been fishing. I've waded rapids, stood on slick rocks, hacked through ice, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do, and join me on this journey. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Good Thursday afternoon. John Kovach with you, Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. This Thursday, November 9th, we're going to talk fishing on a global scale, and then we're going to localize it here on today's Yankee Fisherman. First up on the phone, all the way from California, is Neil Horton. Neil, on September 1st, took over as president of the International Game Fish Association. Neil, welcome to the new job. I think a lot of people hear IGFA, basically with sanctioned attached to it, or IGFA World Record. Tell us a little bit about what the IGFA does.
Thanks, John. And first of all, I appreciate you having me on the show. I'm out in California today for an event we're doing with some of our anglers here on the West Coast, but it's great to be able to connect with you on the East Coast at the same time. The IGFA is the premier international recreational angling organization in the world. We're a conservation-based recreational angling organization founded in 1939 at the American Museum of Natural History by their chief ichthyologist and his sidekick, a guy named Mike Lerner, who were really interested in traveling the world and exploring the seas to find and catch large specimens of tuna, marlin, and swordfish for the purpose of scientific understanding. And over the years, we've kept that conservation focus, but we've kind of expanded our mandate to look at things like angler recognition. So as you mentioned, we maintain records, both all tackle, line class, and fly rod records for saltwater and freshwater species around the globe. We have a series of trophy clubs and slam clubs that anglers can participate in to mark significant catches. We have a significant education and outreach program where we're taking kids to fish, which I think is one of the most important things we do for the sport. And then we interact with international bodies and national organizations and governmental entities to try to ensure that the policies that are guiding the management of our fisheries in the U.S. and around the world are the right policies and are create a sustainable situation for the species and the habitats where these fish live, so that there'll be plenty for all of us to fish for in the future.
Now, you come to your new job from a background in recreational angling. What kind of an angler do you consider yourself? Or what? Let's say, what species do you target?
Angler. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So, I spent the last 30 years working in mainly in corporate environments with companies like Coca-Cola and Miller Brewing Company and later Miller Coors. And so I'm truly a recreational angler. I've never owned a boat. I've been more focused on, doing my work. And then when I had time to vacation and travel, I've fished. I've fished ever since I was a little kid, growing up in Atlanta. I've fished in 25 countries now, more than 25 states. I've caught over 70 species of fish wearing an old Rapala hat that my sister gave me back in the early 90s.
Sweet.
And I'd say in the last 10 years, I've really been focused on a lot on billfish and marlin. So had some really nice brown trout and rainbow trout catches down in Argentina and out in Colorado, where I have a place in the Northeast. I lived in Larchmont, New York at one time, and I used to fish the Long Island Sound for striped bass. My college roommate's from Woodbridge, Connecticut, and he used to take me up to Nantucket. We'd fish the rips off Connecticut and bluefish and stripers. So, my dad used to tell people that I would fish in a mud puddle. And I'm not, and that's pretty much true. I'm not that discriminative about the species. I just love to catch fish, and I love to get out in the outdoors and enjoy the environments where fish live.
I love hearing
that. To me is, the key part of it.
Love hearing that, because that's kind of the approach that we take. And love hearing all the places in our backyard that you mentioned. I mean, I'm looking out over Route 8 in Connecticut now. If you take that to the end and drive through Bridgeport, you're on the Long Island Sound. Now, a little further from us, you had hurricane devastate Florida, and the IGFA and Costa Sunglasses announcing the World Anglers Relief Fund. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, as you said, I started my new job down in Dania Beach, which is right next to the Fort Lauderdale Airport, on September 1st. And I got down there, that was Labor Day weekend, so I got down there on the 4th after the Labor Day weekend, and 2 days later we had come through, the islands and then through South Florida. A few weeks before, we had Maria shortly after that, and then Nate hitting over in Central America after that. And in my work through the years, I've done hurricane relief in a number of different situations. I looked at it and said, what can we do? We're an international angling organization. We need to help the anglers that are being impacted by these storms. The first responders come in and they do an amazing job of getting people kind of back to basics. You have international relief organizations like the Red Cross that provide humanitarian relief. There's government relief from FEMA. There's insurance. And all these things are really been important. But if you think about charter fishermen, captains, guides, outfitters, the people that depend on the recreational charter angler for their livelihood, these people are going to be facing serious situation for months and maybe even into the years as we really understand the full impact of this incredible hurricane season on the fisheries in the southeastern United States, across the Caribbean, Central America, et cetera. And so my idea was to create a worldwide anglers relief fund, or the WARF, and encourage people who care about angling and care about the people who really make these fisheries happen for the folks who only get to fish them on the weekend or on vacation, that we'll receive those funds and then we will disperse them to local angling organizations so that they can provide support to this kind of very identifiable set of people who are going to be out of work until the hotels come back, until the marinas are back online, and they can start chartering again. We're actually about to make our first disbursements either later this week or first of next week to the Offshore Guides Association in Alamorada, covering kind of the Upper Keys and the offshore guides. We're also going to provide support to the Guides Trust Foundation in the Keys, which really looks more at the backcountry and flats guides. And then we're looking at a significant contribution probably to Club Nautico in San Juan to address, the mates, captains, et cetera, there in San Juan who've been impacted by the storms. This is going to be a long-term program for us. My view is that as long as we all go fishing, weather is going to be an issue for us, and we need to be prepared in advance, and we need to recognize that this is a very distinct and special group of people who, even with all these other forms of support that I described, still are going to find a significant loss of income for the simple fact that the basics will come back before the charter fishermen come back.
Well, many of the charter guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you have whole marinas that are gone, so they lost their business address. You have boats that are gone, so they lost their. Basically, it would be the equivalent of using the street your office is on and your office at the same time. And most of these people are independent contractors. They're really kind of on their own out here in terms of being able to and having to recover.
That's right. I mean, I don't know how well you know the Keys, and obviously the Keys isn't the only place impacted, but just to focus a little bit, I started fishing down there with my dad when I was 13. I caught my first sailfish there out of Chesapeake Docks. The marina right up from that Postcard Inn, which was a long time was called the Holiday Isle. There's not a boat in the marina, and they're saying that it's likely that they won't reopen for a year. There's other situations a little further down in Islamorada at Bud and Mary's where the Stanzik family operates the marina. They're coming back quicker, partly because it's a family-owned business and they're right there, and they just got right back to rebuilding the day after the storm. But I drove the Florida Keys a week after Irma, and the devastation as you get further south from Islamorada, into the Middle Keys and all the way down to Summerlin Key and Big Cujo Key, where the eye wall of the storm came through. This is serious damage that's going to take quite some time to repair. Key West is actually a little better than the middle and lower Keys. So I think that may come back a little bit quicker. But as you said, there's literally marinas that had 50, 60 or more boats in them, not only offshore boats, but also flats charters that are ghost towns today, right? And all of the people that work and the families that depend on the people that work on those charter operations, from the captains, guides, et cetera, are out of income, right? And as you said, often these are independent operators. Some people have small business insurance. Frankly, some people don't. So we're trying to do what we can to close the gap and help some people out that are really in true need.
We have a lot of anglers up here who travel regularly to the Keys. How can they make a donation to help out the Worldwide Anglers Relief Fund and help out these charter captains?
Yeah, if you go to our website at IGFA.org, you'll find on the homepage there's some banners that scroll, and you'll see the Worldwide Anglers Relief Fund as one of those banners that you can click on. It's easy to find on our site, and you can make a tax-deductible contribution. I should say that the folks at Costa Sunglasses came on as our founding partner of the wharf, and they're about to gear up their fundraising. They've already given us some cash, but they're going to be doing some pretty hard pushes in the next few weeks through a program they call One Coast. So if you go to the Costa site and you look for their One Coast initiative, there's a place where you can give directly there as well. Those funds are going to be split between the International Red Cross and the International Game Fish Association.
And we'll follow that and have links up on our site and Facebook page. The IGFA also sponsoring a global contest. This lasts until next September 1st. How's that work?
Yeah, we were in the tournament fishing game for years and ran annual contests. Part of those go back to when we started keeping the freshwater records that had previously been held by Field and Stream, and many of those had been compiled as part of their annual fishing contest. We got away from that for a few years, and I think the trustees, as I came in, were keen on getting back into the contest world, because let's face it, all of us as anglers are competitive, and we like to compare what we're catching and have a good time with it. So we've relaunched our annual fishing contest. It started October 1st. It runs through the end of September next year. So it's a year-long tournament or contest. It's a global contest. And there's 74 species of fish that are eligible for the contest. There are 3 categories: conventional, fly fishing, and juniors. And basically, the top weight fish in each of those categories. So you got 3 categories, 74 species. You have about, if every species is filled, you'll have about 200 roughly anglers whose names will go into a drawing to win one of 3 trips. There'll be 3 winners. One is to Casa Vieja Lodge in Guatemala. One of them is to Zancudo Lodge in Costa Rica. And one of them is to Wilderness North in Canada. So these are genuinely trips of a lifetime for anglers. And I would say, since we're talking Yankee Fisherman, there's a young man named Dylan Cafferty who's already entered he's under 16, so he's entered a fish in the junior category. He's entered a 15-pound, 11-ounce bluefish.
Really?
That he caught in Martha's Vineyard in the first week of November. So he's on the board, setting the mark for us in the bluefish categories, which would be a key category for, the anglers in your region. And I'd encourage folks to, to go to the if you go to the IGFA website, and you'll see one of the tabs that says fish, and the top entry there is the annual fishing contest. Gives you all the rules, tells you how to submit a catch. There's also going to be smaller prizes along the way, from anything from Rapala lures to mustad hooks, Costa sunglasses, Yeti tumblers. So there's a number of other smaller prizes along the way to those big 3 kind of once in a lifetime fishing trips.
You've got a lot going on with the IGFA, and I'd really love to have you on more frequently to discuss these efforts. I'm hoping we can make that happen.
Hey, John, I'm happy to be on anytime. One of the best things about this job is I get to talk fishing.
That's what this show is all about.
You'd like to have me, or if you'd like to focus, on our conservation efforts, our conservation director, Jason Stratweiser, could come on. We'd love to, keep the conversation going, and the folks up in New England and the Northeast get to know IGFA again and become a part of our organization. I mean, it was founded in New York, so we were Yankee anglers to begin with, and we want to keep that part of our roots alive. We're
going to make that happen. Neil Horton of the IGFA, thanks for joining us on Yankee Fisherman. We are going to be right back with more Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop. The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through October 31st.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
Weed and Duryea, New Canaan's home center and full-service lumberyard. Everything for your home and improvement projects. We also carry seasonal items, barbecue grills, housewares, newest LED light bulbs, doors, windows, and much more. Weed and Duryea, 21 Grove Street, New Canaan, a division of Northeast Building Supply.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today. Dr. Steve.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Trout Unlimited and Orvis are collaborating on the Embrace a Stream project. This is grants that go to local TU chapters for work on local streams. There are a number of streams in Connecticut involved in this. Jeff Yates of Trout Unlimited is joining us. Jeff is actually on a stream in Connecticut right now, should you hear water running in the background. But Jeff is going to talk about the national program because we're in the middle of a donation drive where your gift of as little as $10 could win much more money toward one of these restoration projects. Jeff, thanks for joining us on Yankee Fisherman.
Thanks for having us, John. I appreciate it a lot, and all you do for Trout Unlimited and the Embrace Stream program especially.
So Embrace a Stream kind of coming back after there was a little bit of a lag, and now we're seeing a really robust program this year with a lot of grants handed out to local chapters, and now the Embrace a Stream Challenge.
That's right. So the Embrace a Stream program is something that TU has been running since 1975, and it's a grants program where we actually solicit money from our members, our 300,000 members and supporters across the country, for donations, and then give out grants to chapters across the country, local people who are taking care of the rivers where they love to fish. And since 1975, that program has awarded over 1,000 grants, totaling more than $4.6 million. But as you said, it was a program that had a long life and was starting to get a little stale. And so last summer, we met with Orvis and talked with them about not only injecting some life into the program, but really finding a way to encourage more people to participate in taking care of their local streams. And thus we started the Embrace a Stream Challenge, which is running now through November 12th. The website's embraceastream.org, and the premise is simple. There's incredible local projects. There's 4 here in Connecticut, and then they're all throughout the country. They're actually in 22 states. And if you go to embraceastream.org, you can look through those projects, find one on a river that you love, or just one that inspires you, whether it's a chapter working with kids or a chapter working to remove a dam for Atlantic salmon passage. Give as little as $10, and that chapter could win prizes from a $50,000 prize pool that Orvis and TU have put up. One example, the chapter that receives the most $10 donations will get a $1,000 prize, plus keep all the donations they receive. And the chapter that gets the most donations overall gets $5,000 on top of all their donations. So it's a great way where not only is your donation going to an incredible project making fishing better, across the country, even $10 can unlock a much greater amount of money for these important projects.
And so everyone is clear, because I have heard questions on this. Regardless of whether you win a prize or not, regardless of where you finish in terms of the number of donations, each chapter keeps the donations earmarked for them by the donors.
Absolutely. And right now we've already raised, the Embrace Streams Challenge has been running since Monday. So in the last 4 days, well, not even full 4 days, we've already raised over $32,000 for the chapters. And some of the chapters, for instance, are already up near $3,000 that they've raised for their projects. And that's before any prize money that they may win. So they could significantly increase how much they're raising. And all 45 of the chapters, 45 of the 47 chapters have been doing really well. And there's over a dozen of them have already raised $1,000. So this is work that's money that's going to go directly into those projects. And it's thanks to almost 800 people who have already given online at embraceastream.org.
And this is a program that you're going to keep going in the future. And I really love the challenge aspect of this, where you can earmark a donation. And I think it also kind of makes us as anglers think about how much we support and how much we should support conservation on the rivers that we fish.
Absolutely. I mean, the tagline for the Embrace a Stream Challenge is "Give where you fish," and who else but anglers, people who are out on the water, are going to care as much as we do about making sure that those rivers are healthy. And it's really, it benefits us immediately. I know you'll talk about the project here in Connecticut, but the work we're doing on the Norwalk, the Mill, the Farmington, and East Aspetuck River and here in Connecticut will have an immediate impact on the fishing. But more importantly, these are projects that will have repercussions long into the future. This is the kind of work, and this is really what Trout Unlimited specializes in. It's the kind of work that helps a river help itself, heal itself, so that we're making rivers better for our kids, for our grandkids, people who haven't even started fishing yet. And that's the real beauty of it, is this sport and these rivers give so much to us. This is our chance to give something back to them.
The chapters involved in Connecticut are the Mianus chapter, the Nutmeg chapter, the Candlewood Valley chapter, and the Farmington Valley chapter. You go to embracesstream.org. You can click by region. New England is one of them. There are 10 projects in New England. You can then pick the project. There's information about the projects there. Really an opportunity that, I mean, if you can give $10, please give $10, because it's going to help the stream that you want it to help, and I think that's crucial. Jeff, I got to ask you before we go, how's the fishing out there today?
It's great. It's going wonderfully, and it's a beautiful fall day.
Get out there before it gets cold. Jeff Yates, thanks for joining us on Yankee Fisherman. We'll touch base after the challenge and see how things shake out.
Great. Thanks, John. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you. We'll be back with more Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop right after this.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more. Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop. Want to thank Neil Horton from the IGFA, Jeff Yates from Trout Unlimited. Again, 2 organizations here that are collecting money. The IGFA, IGFA.org, help out these captains who have been affected by what was an awful hurricane season. TU raising money through the Embrace a Stream Challenge. You've got till Sunday to donate at embraceastream.org. The DEEP here in Connecticut has just finished its fall stocking. Last stop was the Yantic River where they dropped salmon. We're going to have a couple of big speakers at meetings coming up on November 16th. Rich Strolis, who we've had on the show before, he's going to discuss angling in Alaska on a budget with the Farmington Valley chapter of Trout Unlimited. That's Thursday, November 16th, 6:30 to 9 at the Farmington Senior Center. You can get more at fvtu.org. Greg Meyerson of World Record Striper Company. He holds the world record for striped bass caught in the Long Island Sound. He's going to speak to Nutmeg to you on Tuesday, November 21st at 7 p.m. That's at Port 5, 69 Brewster Street in Bridgeport. We'll have more about that next week. Stay tuned. You're just minutes away from CIAC Class LL Girls Soccer. Number 8 Darien hosts number 9 Shelton in a second round game. Pre-game at 1:45, kickoff at 2. Saturday we'll be back with FCAC football. Trinity Catholic travels to Norwalk. Kickoff set for 11 a.m. And next week we're going to talk about a documentary that's going to be coming up real soon about fly fishing pioneer Joe Brooks. Till then, tight lines.